What's going on, everybody? This is a $40 popcorn bucket that has absolutely no use other than to sit on my countertop. Welcome back to another episode of the Those Movie Dudes podcast, hosted by yours truly, your beloved host, Jonathan. Here to talk about some movie news, talk about some big summer blockbuster films, and do some trivia, maybe talk about some news along the way, because there's quite a big story. Robert Downey Jr. But let's bring in our fellow dudes, Nate and Ducky.
Quack, quack.
Oh my god. Welcome in, everybody.
You a cow? What? What the fuck was that? Oh shit, I swore in the first minute.
God damn it.
All right.
Scrap the whole
Canceled.
thing. Yep. Well,
Canceled.
we're also drinking on the show, so.
You.
Somebody's got to do it enough for the rest of us.
I got a nice LaCroix, but yeah.
0 calories.
I've got an empty Adirondack bottle.
Ooh.
Adirondack.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wonder how many
Never
people are
heard of
going
that
to
brand
know
in my whole
what
life.
that is. That's a deep cut reference right there.
If they don't know what it is, then they're missing out.
Is that water?
It's a flavored water.
Oh, I've never heard of it. Well,
yeah.
How are we all doing today? Ready to talk about the movies?
Breathing.
Sure. Yeah. I guess so.
Okay. All
The
right.
stool's still upright.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Awesome. Well,
Good night, everybody.
And that's going to be it for the show. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
We're never coming back. Okay, bye-bye.
We're coming back.
So, how was Overcooked 2 last night, John?
How do you know? Spencer's an Xbox stalker. If you guys didn't know that.
No,
he
I
likes
mean,
to
I sent you an invite, and you never joined.
Oh, I didn't notice.
No, it's
We, I had some friends over, and we ended up just doing like trivia YouTube videos until like 2:30 in the morning, where it was like guess that Nickelodeon kid show based on the song and stuff like that.
I would destroy.
So I think I left. You would kill that, Nate. Actually, we should
Were
do
you
that for a
hosting?
trivia.
Was it a
trivia
mainstream boy Nickelodeon night?
Yeah. I mean, it
You
was
made
after
your own
about 1 in the
theme- you made
morning,
your-
but yeah,
You made your own theme song and everything, just like all ready to go.
I did. And welcome in mainstream.
Oh,
Yeah, that's later in the show. It's not right now.
that sounds actually
Yeah.
kind of fun. Hopefully, you
It
guys
was.
can get into the dark side of Nickelodeon. But yeah,
No, I do that solo.
Dan Snyder, my hero.
But anyway, yeah. Again, you guys having a nice weekend? It's Sunday, July 28th at 4:21. Shit, we missed it. Fuck. Oh well. Yeah, I've been playing the Fortnite season, been playing a little college football 25. Anybody gonna join me in that? Or is that just gonna be a solo thing too?
No.
$65 video
No.
game that only I'm gonna play by myself. Okay.
yeah.
I'd rather get upset playing Overcooked.
It is really fun. Like I was playing with some friends that haven't really played it before, and I was still very much myself during that gameplay.
Yeah, see, while you are doing your little Fortnite stuff, I'm actually like strapping up, like going to war. Like I'm in
Right.
like Siberia, in like the trenches, actually fighting and reloading my mags. So
Yeah, I
don't
mean
know
I
about
can do
you,
that too, but
with
I
a
just
little-
have to
with the little
press X.
controller.
I'm not
but
playing VR.
I'm in it. I'm serving my country.
Which country is this?
I don't know.
An
Depends
ancient
on what server,
civilization that no longer
depends on what
exists?
server you're playing on. But
Yeah.
but VR is fun. That's all I'll say.
I would like to get one, but Choki won't sell me his PS5, even though it just sits there and collects dust.
Damn it,
It's fine.
Choki. Well, it
I've
looks
asked him-
good on his TV stand.
Yeah, I mean, you could get a fake one and just have it sit there, and it would look the same. You could literally just get
100%.
a plastic shell that's not even a real PlayStation 5, and it would get just as much use as his. But, anyways, do you guys want to talk about a little movie news?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, sure.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
This is movie news.
News.
Bitch.
Peter, he's here live every week.
Peter?
News. That's all he knows how to say. It's weird. It's like for some reason.
News.
Yeah, we actually have a gun pointed to his head. He's not allowed to say anything else.
This is an AI version of Peter that we have that only says news.
Yeah, that's it. Unless there's another drop where his voice is involved. Yes.
Yeah. We need to get Peter to make that Nate's Choice jingle.
Are you fucking kidding me? You said you were going to take care of it last week. I'll play back the tape.
Oh yeah, I did say it, and it still hasn't happened. So
Did you send him a text within the last 2 weeks?
he knows about it. Yes.
You sent him a new text to remind him?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. That's fine.
But he knows about it. But hey, I'm not the only one doing the show. You guys are with me too. We all have Peter's number.
I'm gonna text him right now. I'll let you know by the end of the episode if he responds.
Okay, there we go.
Hey man, been a while.
You can just type in.
Hope you're doing good. Oh no, I was gonna do voice text. No, okay. Hey pal. Just go ahead and start with the news.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he's coming back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Why? That is the question of the day. This was just announced like 12 hours ago because San Diego Comic-Con is currently happening. Marvel just had their panel where they talked about like Captain America. They talked about Thunderbolts, the new Fantastic Four, and then they announced that the next Avengers movies, Avengers Doomsday with Doctor Doom, played by Robert Downey Jr. And the Russo brothers from Infinity War and Endgame and Civil War and Winter Soldier, they're coming back to direct both of the Avengers movies. So that's interesting.
I think they're looking at the fact that nobody's given two shits about Marvel for the last 4.5 years, and they're like, let's bring back what works and also, what people love.
And also with the Russo brothers, they ended with Endgame on a pretty big high note. Movie made so much money. It was universally received. Critics and audiences loved it. But they then tried to make their own passion projects with Cherry, the Tom Holland film. And then they made
Did they make
the Gray Man with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans on Netflix. Borderline unwatchable movie. Never finished it. Couldn't do it. Tried 3 times. It was so bad. And both movies were torn apart by critics and everything. They went to streaming, so it's not like you could get a sense on the budget. And they also made an Amazon show that's like the most expensive original produced show of all time. Like they went to like 17 different countries or something to film it, and nobody watched it. So
what show was that?
I don't even know what the title is. You'd have to look up like what they produced. But they have been blowing so much money up because they had this huge ride with Marvel and the Avengers movies, and then they tried to make their own little movies that had a lot of money in the budget, and nobody liked them. So now they're pivoting. They're like, oh, maybe we should go back and play with the superheroes again. And Marvel's like, please, we kind of need you because we don't know what to do either. So it's bizarre. And Robert Downey Jr., like that worked with Iron Man. Let's bring him back. And like I said with you guys in the text message in the chat, it's like Robert Downey Jr., he leaves Marvel because he wants to focus on his dramatic acting career. His first role out of the MCU, he wins a fucking Oscar. And now the first role that gets announced after his win is, hey, I'm back as like one of the most famous villains of all time, Doctor Doom.
I can't even imagine the wet dreams that Comic-Con nerds had in Hall H when
did you see the video?
Released himself, yes, or revealed himself.
People were screaming.
Yeah, because he's probably gonna save.
I would too.
Marvel. At least for the sake of getting people in getting butts in seats. Who's to say that it's gonna be an amazing movie? But it's Robert Downey Jr. He kind of just carries this franchise on his shoulders. So
I'm gonna think of it as like, imagine if Iron Man didn't exist and just have him as this new character. That's what I'm trying to think of it as. But it's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
There he is. Dude. Oh, my God.
He just reveals himself in the full costume and everything. People are fucking freaking out. I don't know, man. It's cool that he's coming back, I guess. I guess he's going to play some sort of like Tony Stark variant. So, it's the only way it makes sense.
Wait, what? Tony Stark...
Yeah, like some variant that looks like Tony Stark, but is going to secretly be like Doctor Doom or something.
So it's like an alternate universe variant of Tony Stark.
It looks exactly like Tony Stark. Like they're gonna address it, and like it's gonna have to play into the plots like somehow. That because roughly, why wouldn't they just cast somebody else? Like
Tony Stark never created Iron Man, and
that has to be what it is.
In Industries, his father was never in it, and something happens to his father, which causes him to go to the Doom side, and
the Doom side. Is that a
Okay.
The
thing?
Doom side.
I wonder
Never
if we
heard that.
still get John Krasinski in the Fantastic Four, because like that's going to be part of the next like franchises that we see
No,
is
because
Fantastic Four.
no, because Pedro Pascal got cast as Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four movie, and they're going to appear in Doomsday. So the Fantastic
Okay.
Four are going to be in this. So Pedro Pascal is going to be the guy.
Who's
Reed
cast as the
Richards.
other characters? Do you know?
Who in particular? Fantastic Four.
Yeah, for those guys.
Susan
Who's, like-
Storm.
Vanessa Kirby is Susan Storm.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Okay.
great casting. Then they got Joseph Quinn for Johnny Storm, Quiet Place and Stranger
Okay.
Things. And then
yeah.
the guy from The Bear, he's Eben something. I can't remember. Eben Moss something. He's from The Bear. He's like the kind of skinny guy.
Okay.
That's the co-lead.
That's-
So yeah,
That's pretty good casting. I mean, I would consider myself a little Marvel fanboy. I did go see Deadpool and Wolverine opening night.
yeah. I mean, we're talking about it
and
later in this
so-
episode. Yeah. So
it's exciting. I think the Russo brothers made, I mean, arguably the best movies in the entire franchise, at least movies that had like a lot of the characters thrown in them. Like Winter Soldier, Civil War, and Endgame. I mean, you could argue those are some of the best ones. So yeah, I'd say I'm kind of excited for these movies now that they're a part of it. Yeah. Why not?
well, years ago, do you remember they announced the next Avengers movie was going to be Avengers: The Kane Dynasty, and then Avengers: Secret Wars was going to be after. So Secret Wars is still here, but the Kane Dynasty was going to be the next Avengers movie, and they had Jonathan Majors as Kane. They set him up with Ant-Man and some Loki stuff.
So they're scrapping the
and,
whole thing.
They're scrapping
They
the
have
whole
to.
thing because he got charged with assault. So
Yeah, That's
they
very
fired
smart.
him, and they're pivoting, and they're trying to get people excited about the MCU again. And like we'll talk about with Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, they're poking fun of the fact that like they're at a low point right now. I mean, they
Yeah.
dove into the TV world and made some really crappy stuff for the process. I haven't seen a lot of the recent Marvel stuff in terms of the TV or anything like that. I've kept up mostly on movies. I think the only one I haven't seen is Internals, but regardless,
Eternals.
I mean,
Whatever.
Eternals, whatever. But,
Yeah, who cares?
I don't know. I'm curious to see what they're going to do here. The Russo brothers don't really get me excited. I'd rather see like a fresh take, but it is what it is. So.
We've had that, and it hasn't really worked out in the last 4 releases. Like we had
Nia
Sam
DaCosta was
Raimi
the Marvels. But the thing is, I love that movie really felt like a Sam Raimi movie. Like it was full on. Just
I liked
his
that
style.
movie, to be honest with you. A lot of people didn't like it. I've seen it twice, and because I'm like, okay, maybe it's not as good as I remember.
Post Endgame, it's probably one of the better ones. Like I like the Spider-Man movies for the most part; they're fun, but
for sure. Yeah, the real misses are like Quantumania and the Marvels and some other stuff.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Thor: Love and Thunder was
Oh
such
my
a
God.
disappointment. I mean, yeah.
I
There's
didn't
definitely some
even
misses.
care for Wakanda Forever. I know some people really liked it. I honestly, I
Completely
would
forgot that even
would
came
never
out.
watch it again. Yeah,
Yeah.
And Nate, you haven't seen any of these, as you
Yeah,
sit
so
there in
I'm
silence.
listening to your takes because
I know.
like I've seen all the Spider-Mans. I've seen
Basically everything
Guardians
up to
3.
Endgame, right? Yeah, and then
Yes.
cherry pick from there.
To be honest, I think most of the stuff that we've seen translate, like the stuff from the TV show, the elements that have been brought over to the movies were like the best parts of the TV shows. So I'm glad that they didn't bring anything stupid from the TV shows, because there's a lot of stuff that didn't work into the movies that are seen in cinemas. So
yeah,
there's
actually there's a joke of that in Deadpool, it was great. It made me laugh.
Yeah. God, it's such a smart franchise. Anyway,
so okay, that's the big announcement with the current like movie news world right now is just the MCU. I mean, out of all these movies, Fantastic Four, the Captain America, Thunderbolts, these Avengers movies, which one are you most excited to see, Nate?
out of those two right there,
Fantastic Four, the new Captain America, and then the Avengers.
what's Thunder?
It's hard to know what Secret Wars is really going to be, but I've heard rumors that like that's going to be like Wolverine and like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and like all these other fucking crazy people. Like, so
I
It
want to
looks
see Fantastic Four because I actually kind of like the original one just because it's really silly, cheesy 2000s superhero movies. But I want to see a new take because
Yeah.
there's some really cool things that they could do with their powers and
I think that could be fun.
whatever universe they're from or whatnot, and just kind of see how it plays out. Because I know they wanted to tie it in with Avengers, so let's see
Yeah.
where they fit in, and if they could have fit in the previous Avengers movies. Like, imagine this new Fantastic Four with the old crew and kind of seeing what would happen. But now we got RDJ as Doom, so who knows?
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, I'm just excited to see, or I guess hopeful to see what they're able to make of the new Fantastic Four because it's been done so poorly in the past. I mean, like the early 2000s movies were. I mean, when I was a kid, I was like, these are great, these are so fun. Jessica Alba's so hot. But then you know,
Yep.
the new one that like I think Spencer actually saw together with Miles Teller and
Oh yeah,
Michael B.
yeah.
Jordan
Josh
and
Trank.
Great
Yeah.
cast.
Mila, not Mila. So
Oh,
Kate Mara.
freaking
Kate Mara.
yeah.
They're so bad. I mean, I just think that there's so much stuff here that they can really make a great movie. So it looks like they're confident enough to make Doom like the big bad in this big Avengers movie. So they're probably confident with Fantastic Four as well. So hopefully they're able to make something good out of it that isn't generic garbage.
Right, because Doctor Doom is a Fantastic Four villain for sure.
He's the
Yeah,
big bad
he is
for
the big bad for
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic
Yeah.
Four. Okay, I don't really know
Yep.
what else he is involved in, like beyond
Dr.
that.
Doom and
'Cause I know in the
Silver
comics,
Surfer.
I don't
He's
even know
there.
what he
Like the
does.
big-
Like Dr. Doom, I just
yeah.
know he throws
So,
green plasma balls or
we'll probably see Downey Jr. in Fantastic Four at some point.
almost definitely.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense then. All right. Well, what makes me really excited about that? I agree. I think Fantastic Four is like the thing I'm most excited about because it seems so different. Because it's set in like a different world, not connected to Earth. What is it? 616.
It's supposed to be connected to
something like
X-Men,
that.
I thought.
It's something.
Isn't it?
It's on its own world, I think, and it's going to be set in like a futuristic 1960s, which just sounds kind of fun. I like that idea.
interesting.
And the cast is cool, so I'm curious to see what they're going to do here, and obviously they're going to carry on into the future. So that's the big news right there. I have a little bit of news for Nate. This is kind of specifically for him,
I like that.
and here it is. And a Violent Nature sequel.
I
is
saw
coming.
that. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, I did see that. I did see this.
'Cause our review that we did of the episode is not out, so no one knows what we thought of in a Violent Nature. But Nate and I did see it, and Nate loved it. So
oh yeah, like, and I there's it has flaws that all the people that I've talked to that have seen it felt the same way. Some people who've hated it, some thought it wasn't bad. I guess I was just kind of hoping that he might take a similar style and take it into a different aspect of life. Maybe get out of this and go into like a suburb or something. But if he's doing the same stuff, I'm on board because I just want to see more of this killer and more of the gruesome tension-filled stuff that comes with it, because very creative, awesome kills. I'm in.
So yeah, and they are confirming that it's going to follow another Johnny, as the villain's name is in the movie, Johnny.
Love that.
Yep. They're gonna follow. It's another chapter in his mass murder spree. So
I've been meaning to check it out. It's like I just know how brutal it's gonna be, and I
really
just
isn't, dude. Honestly,
not.
there's like a couple of scenes where it's like, oh wow, that's gratuitous, but it's really just him walking in the woods and like nature shots of like caterpillars crawling on leaves and like sunlight kind of like peering through like tall grass and him just like touching grass. And yeah, it's really just like a Terrence Malick movie
Gladiator.
with like a couple of moments of like holy fuck, like okay. But
Jesus. Okay. Well, I mean, I still want to see it. I have not been in the right mood because I watched the trailer and it's like it seems very artsy. I guess it clearly is based on that description, and just I don't know, kind of
it's
bone
100%
chilling at times. So
a 24 version of Friday the 13th. That's somebody said that in a review, and it's the most accurate way you can describe this movie.
I just wish it was an
Art house version.
A24 release because it would have a sick slipcover. I would immediately buy it. I would go at midnight, like Bull Moose used to do. At midnight, you could show up and buy like the newest releases. I did that twice.
Yeah.
And this would be the third time. Yeah.
Is it out yet? No, it's not.
No.
It's going to be on
Shudder.
It's going to be on Shudder on September 13th.
Or
it's on VOD right now, and at some point I'm sure it'll be on Blu-ray. So sequel is coming. They might franchise this movie as we kind of predicted, but oh well. And
I just wish they would franchise it in a different way.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, but oh well.
Make a vampire version of this story or concept.
Ooh,
that'd be wild.
Or like
All right.
like El Conde, but A24 style.
Josh O'Connor, he's back. Guy from Challengers. He's everywhere now. He just got cast in Ryan Johnson's next movie, the Knives Out, Dead Man Walking. He's going to be in the Knives Out movie, but he's joining Spielberg's UFO film that's going to star Emily Blunt. It's going to come out May 15th, 2026. So a couple years around John's birthday. We're going to get a Steven Spielberg alien film titled The Dish.
There's a big chance that comes out same weekend as Avengers Doomsday.
It
if
could.
not the weekend before, because they said May 2026, and it's either going to be usually they do the first weekend in May or closer
and
to
funny
the end.
enough, something's probably going to get pushed because The Mandalorian and Grogu also comes out in May of 2026.
That's a movie?
Yeah, that's going to be the movie.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, and that stars Pedro Pascal, and the fucking Avengers, whatever is going to be Pedro Pascal. So he's in two massive fucking movies.
Avengers probably not going anywhere. I think it's the other movies that are going to have to make a pivot if that's the case.
But I'm stoked. We have a Spielberg. His next movie for Steven Spielberg is going to be an alien film called The Dish. Like,
I mean, yeah, that's fucking awesome. So I don't know how you couldn't be excited about that. I love alien movies. I love Spielberg.
He did do War of the Worlds.
Let's
throw that out there. So he's done.
He's done Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He's done E.T. He dabbles. That's why I'm so excited that he's coming back to do like another type of story. Like, and especially with all the news and everything that's happened in the world with like UFOs or unidentified aerial phenomenons, UAPs, as they're like supposed to be called now because the UFOs scare people.
I would love it to be like darker, but I feel like it's gonna still have that kind of just like glitz and glamour that Spielberg has, where it's like, well, I mean, I don't mind having one that's kind of like.
So. I think it might be more on the. I don't know this. I'm just speculating. I could see it being more on the level of Nope, but definitely like a PG-13.
Right, not like scary, but like I want something that's like thought provoking and not like popcorny. I guess like more Arrival than.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know, I don't know. I think, and I know he can do it, but he does put himself in a box sometimes where things are a little just fluffy, I guess.
Yep.
But it sounds amazing. I mean, that's an amazing idea. Great casting. I mean, based on what I know is nothing. So,
what do you think the dish is in reference to? Like a satellite dish?
Probably the Dish
ship?
Network,
the ship, the alien ship,
DirecTV and Dish Network. It's a
or maybe Spielberg just while he's on behind the scenes, he asks people, "Hey, so what's the dish? Like any information?" Like
it's just Emily Blunt doing dishes the whole movie.
One take,
like the set of here, frame.
Like the scene in a Ghost Story, Rooney Mara eating a pie, but just the whole movie, Emily Blunt doing dishes, like the whole entire sink full of dishes at the beginning. By the end, she's just drying them all and putting them away.
Sweating, bro.
The veins popping out of her forehead.
Yeah, her apron's just soaked. She's just like, "Come on now."
Tom Hanks and Robin Wright are there.
He's just looking through the window. Okay, all right. Let's move on to something else.
I think we just made a movie.
Nate's choice. All right, give us your intro for the last time before Peter makes it.
Okay. It's Nate's choice. Nate's choice. You give you two options. You gotta pick one. It's Nate's choice. Nate's choice. Boogity 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 boogie. I've got a gun. I mean, let's have fun.
Whoa. Okay. Well,
yeah.
I like that one more. It keeps you on your toes.
You know, I like to edit it, give it a little remix now and then. You know, people don't know what's coming. Yeah. This is a big choice you guys are going to have to make because it kind of has to do with what we've been talking about a little bit.
Marvel and DC.
Oh, okay. What? Wait, is that literally what it is? Spencer, why do you have to ruin everything? Because you're so smart.
He's been doing franchises recently, so this just makes sense.
Is it actually
Which
Marvel?
would you pick, Marvel or DC?
I already had it typed out too.
God damn it.
Yeah.
All
Get the
right, well,
camera
that had-
off me. Don't look at me. I'm mad.
All right. Well, that had no anticipation at all. Okay. I'll start it
But think
off.
of it like this: any
Mhm.
rendition of any of the characters. So DC, no Dark Knight movies, no Man of Steel, no rendition of any of it. Same thing Marvel wise. You don't get Iron Man. You don't get the Hulk.
So no DC movies exist. Nothing.
None. DC never existed.
But then same with Marvel.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Same with
Yeah,
Marvel. Yep. Stan Lee was never born.
Wow. Wait, so there's no comic books then?
No,
Or
That's not true. He didn't
He
invent
was
comic
he was an
books.
accountant instead in this alternate reality.
Okay. But like DC and Marvel exist, but just not the movies.
Correct.
No.
It's just Cowman.
So there's nothing DC. Like I can't even go buy a Funko Pop of Batman.
No. So like it's Marvel or DC. Which one's gone?
Okay.
Yeah, movies, Funko Pops, video games.
Nothing. Just like stickers, fucking comic books, which I don't care
Music.
about.
Any of the scores don't exist. I know Man of Steel and The Dark Knight have some great scores.
I feel like I answer first every time, so I'm gonna elect to answer second.
This is actually a really tough choice because I feel like Marvel's movies are
It's
so
easy for me.
fun and like there's
I
so
have my
much.
answer.
I love the cinematic universe that they had at least for the first 10 years of their filmmaking. But DC just has movies that I think stand the test of time more, and they feel more like a cinematic experience, and they feel more like films, like actual movies that are more than just a comic book movie. I mean, Nolan, dude, what Matt Reeves was able to do, I would hate to part ways with those. I would rather have Batman over Iron Man, I guess.
So you would rather have a few movies that could be good, might not be.
Yeah,
Over
I would rather
an
have
entire
what
universe.
like the 5 amazing movies I've gotten from DC versus 30
Name
movies from
them.
Marvel. I guess I would go Joker, the entire Batman trilogy from Christopher Nolan, The Batman. I'm trying to think of other ones off the top of my head. I mean, Wonder Woman was amazing. I love that movie. Watchmen, that's DC. That's an incredible movie as well.
The History of Violence.
Is that DC?
Yeah, it's DC. It's a DC.
I mean, that was a really good movie. With Viggo
Yeah.
Mortensen, I guess. Sure.
I gotta keep it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think the quality of films and the grittiness and of those is just it kind of outweighs Marvel. Like if I didn't know Marvel existed, I think I could still sleep at night. I don't know.
So is that your pick?
That's my
Is that
pick.
your choice?
DC. I'm keeping DC.
I think this is the first time that we might not all agree. But Spencer, what would you pick? You said you had your answer.
Yeah, DC has Batman. I'm picking Batman. DC has Superman. Picking that. Honestly, I sure they have this Joker too, and all the renditions of that too. Yeah, like Watchmen is a fun
Blue Beetle.
one. The recent DC stuff, like I take it or leave it, whatever. It's the characters that's like you have the Christopher Nolan Batman stuff, you have the Michael Keaton Batman stuff. I mean, I literally grew up watching all those movies, so I have a certain nostalgia factor for them. Where like Marvel, like it's like Iron Man and Thor, like Captain America. I could care less. Like I had fun watching them when they were coming out, but these days, yeah, I mean, 100%, I'm going DC.
Damn. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I agree. I can't not have The Dark Knight. I really like if that movie
it
didn't
trumps
exist,
everything else for me. Like so, like it's hard to get rid of that.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Damn.
The
Yeah,
movies
because
that
I 100% disagree with both of you.
I can't put
Oh,
another
man.
Marvel movie against The Dark Knight. Like I honestly can't.
And see, the thing for me is like, how is The Dark Knight in IMDb's top 5?
Because it's a great. Take Batman out of it, it's still a fantastic movie.
I would say it's a good movie.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's fantastic. I wouldn't even put it in Christopher Nolan's top 3. Like,
he's made some amazing movies.
if you take Batman out of it, to me, it just looks like another police drama with a villain that's trying to take over a city. I'm just like,
but it has Batman. So
I'm not a big Batman person. It's just
right. And I think you've seen it once, and you've never seen Dark Knight.
The Dark
Rises?
Knight. I've seen it like 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're not.
I've
a
never
Batman
seen The
guy,
Dark Knight
so that makes
Rises. It
sense.
got spoiled for me, so I never watched it.
And you went to all the Marvel movies and like loved them a lot, so it makes sense.
And Batman Begins, I didn't mind, but I just give or take. Like if it was just The Dark Knight, then maybe. But I just think the effort that Marvel put into their stories, I think the movies have more of I get more enjoyment out of them. Like John, you said the DC movies, they're grittier. I don't necessarily want that in a superhero movie. Like I get it in some moments, like with Winter Soldier. I think they do it really well where they take the superhero aspect and they add it into the real world a little bit. But I would take any Guardians of the Galaxy over any DC movie as far as enjoyment, music, people in it. Like
that's totally valid. I think a lot of people are gonna agree with saving Marvel, but for me also, it's like with DC, like I would echo into what John said. It's like it feels kind of more like you can see the filmmaking behind everything. Like it's good filmmaking with these characters, like with most of them. I mean, not a lot of them. And where like I kind of echo like the Scorsese settlement with Marvel. It kind of just feels like a theme park ride at times where you kind of get lost in the sauce with like the CGI and like just like there's no stakes or anything. You don't. I don't know. So that doesn't apply to all of them. I mean, it's just a very specific thing. Yeah.
This choice is apples and oranges. It's just
exactly.
Sure, they both cover superheroes, but they're both from different beginnings and just how they started and whatnot. I think just for me, it's just more in the entertainment thing, and I think there's more great movies.
I think there's also there's exceptions with Marvel too that kind of counteract my argument. Like there's movies like Logan, and I guess you could say the Deadpool movies. They are grittier. Logan is probably the grittiest of any Marvel movie, other than like the original X-Men. And I think honestly, like the first Marvel movies that came out, like the Spider-Man movies and
Logan
shows like Daredevil and Punisher, and like there's stuff out there that like could sway me, but I still think like that trilogy of Batman is like I can't live without that trilogy. So
dude, I rewatched Logan last night. Like I hadn't seen that movie in forever. I rewatched it last night. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah, it is.
It's incredible.
It's so good. So I know now. I feel like I don't know. I'm sitting here.
The only superhero to make me tear up.
I just can't. Like I love the Dark. I maybe you guys don't. I love the Dark Knight. So like it just trumps everything else for me. Like it's just it's what made me kind of fall in love with like the character and even like kind of go on the whole superhero quest of like because that came out in 2008 and then Iron Man came out in 2008. So like they both came out in the same year. And saw both in theaters, loved them both, but Dark Knight just had that impact on me that just no other Marvel movie has had, I think. So Logan being the closest.
I gotta stick with DC as well. Yeah, Logan is an incredible movie, but
because he got to branch out, do an R-rated film, do something a little different.
You know what sucks for you guys? This is Nate's choice. See ya, DC. I win. Okay.
I think that's just the name of the segment. It doesn't mean you actually get to make the call. Anyway, okay.
Oh, yes, it does. Yeah. It's my segment. It's not mainstream, boy.
So technically for mainstream trivia, Sean could be the winner all the time because it's his name on the segment.
Nate has
It's
won
mainstream
most of
boy
the...
trivia. He doesn't even
yeah.
participate. He's like, I just win.
Yeah,
If that's the logic we're going with, I'll just say I'm the winner every time, even if I'm moderating. Because actually, I won. You guys.
Spencer gets
suck.
7 in a row, and the winner is mainstream
Me.
boy.
I win again.
Only child. Fuck you.
Only child syndrome. Yeah.
I'll bake that into the rules going forward, and then we'll never do trivia again.
I'm Furiosa.
I am Furiosa. Me.
I'm Furiosa.
I've been waiting 2 weeks to say that.
I'm
Furiosa.
How is it not a video clip out?
I don't know, and why?
Because she doesn't say it in the movie. That's why.
That's okay. That's why we say it here.
Okay.
John, what movie does that turn of phrase come from? Like, there's a famous movie where they go, "I am this."
I'm Hermione. Me. I don't know. That's the accent I'm using. But
what if they did that in every movie?
I'm every movie. I'm the Joker. Me. I am.
I'm Dr. Doom.
High pitched
I'm
annoying
Dr.
British
Doom.
accent.
Why is he English? I don't know. They do it in every movie for some reason.
It's like the Wilhelm scream, but
oh my god!
I'm the Twister. No, I'm the Twister.
And they're fighting. I'm the better Twister. No. Daisy Edgar Jones. What the fuck is going on? This goes against everything scientific I've ever learned.
All right. Well, might as well just move right over to new releases then. Okay, I'll hit the button.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Twisters.
Yes, the new releases. Yes, the new releases. Yes, the new releases. Yes, the new releases.
Yeah, new releases. The segment where we talk about new release movies. Welcome back. Thanks for sticking around after the break there. But there is some big blockbuster movies to talk about this week. Movies that I think did pretty well at the box office, and they definitely have a very positive audience response as well. So we'll have to see if that translates to all the movie dudes. But I think actually Spencer and I are the only ones to have seen these movies, Twisters and Deadpool and Wolverine.
Correct. Nate did not get out to the theaters this past couple weeks, but he did see a new release film.
I did. I did.
Let's start with
one that
one.
I believe I did not see. So I mean, almost definitely did not see it because he was trying to explain.
Spencer, did you watch this?
I have seen this. Yes.
Okay, so this movie, I watched it on Disney Plus. That's why you might have seen in the chat I asked for a login. It is a film by Joachim Roning, starring Daisy Ridley, the young woman and the sea. It is about a woman named Trudy Ederle who grew up in New York in the 1910s, 1920s, wanted to learn how to swim, eventually became like a national hero, set a bunch of world records, and it's telling the story of how she became the first woman to ever swim the 21-mile trek from France to England through the English Channel. Yeah, up until that point, I think only a few men had done it, and she was the first woman to complete it, and she beat the men's record by 2 hours.
What?
So, yeah.
Wow. I didn't know Daisy Ridley was that good of a swimmer.
Daisy Ridley in this movie is great. I love her. And their portrayal of New York was very unique, especially back in the 20s. Because
unique New York.
Like, very. I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm like, was New York really that, like, bad in the 1920s?
I thought it was Europe when it started.
Exactly. It looked like a wasteland. I'm like, is this London in the 1800s? Like, what's going on? But it's, basically about this girl, Trudy, who just grows up swimming. Her father doesn't want her to. She's close with her sister. And it's just her defying the odds and making history as the first woman to swim across the English Channel. And I had a lot of fun. It was a good movie. I love movies that have to do with athletics. I saw Naiad last year. I like this better than Naiad. It had a lot of the same things. This had Daisy Ridley. Naiad had Annette Bening. I will take this one any day of the week.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you actually like, Jodie Foster was the best part of that movie.
They both got nominated.
If she can get nominated just being a narcissistic, mean person, then cool. You go do that. But this character I actually liked. She was actually a pleasant person and had like a vision and a dream. And just seeing it play out in this time period where women were held back from a lot of things. They weren't allowed to train on the ship to France. They had to swim in a pool in a boiler room. Like they had so many obstacles that they had to go through in order to even compete.
It was like the one that came in last place. We had to have to shovel the coal into the furnace or something in the boiler room.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how Daisy Ridley's character gets into it. The mom convinces the coach if she can shovel coal and do all that, she can swim in the pool. And she's fantastic.
But this is just like the classic Disney sports movie.
Feel good
family sports movie. Like Remember the Titans. I mean, not on that level, obviously, but just like it's got that kind of feel to it where it's produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. I mean, he's a legendary producer.
It's very positive.
Yeah, it's a very feel-good, positive film with good performances. It's not very memorable for me, and it was a little long, but for the most part, yeah, I liked it way more than Naiad. I wanted to kill the first coach that she had.
For sure. He does some very despicable things. Yeah. That
but why like are they covered in this like white stuff?
It's to help them. What was it for? Not jelly.
It's to help them swimming, but I think it's also like to prevent from like burning when in the water. It's like animal fat.
Lard or something. Yeah. But performances were great. Daisy Ridley's excellent. The only thing that's
I love her.
Shocking to me is that like I'm surprised this didn't get like a theatrical release. Like, it feels like it would have done well. Like, and families could have gone and see it's a PG film. And it just kind of had like a couple theaters and then debut on Disney Plus. Where like I could see this like playing out really well in theaters, like with an audience. It's got some like cheer-worthy moments at times. So it's worth it. I mean, since it's on Disney Plus, it's very easily accessible, and it's just a really good kind of feel-good Disney sports film. So yeah.
Where I think so Naiad is like the more realistic version, I would say, of this type of story. Someone trying to do a swimming feat. This one is the more adventurous, uplifting version of it, where it's kind of glossy and it's got that hope to it, but I don't think it drags it down. Like, it shows the progression of women in sport, which I think is fantastic. How first they couldn't even swim in the men's pool, and then all of a sudden they get invited to face another country in the men's pool. And the way the news focuses on it, like instead of focusing on the task that she's trying to do, they're like, oh, what's she wearing? And so it's really stereotypical of the time. But I think the way they handle it was like not in your face. Like, it was very subtle. And just Daisy Ridley's performance, she was just magnetic. I wanted to see her succeed. And every time they bring up, like, she'll be doing great, and then the coach will go, oh, look, there's one of your swimming buddies right there. And people are like dropping a shark out of a boat. And they're like, oh, that's what you'll be hanging out with in a couple days. It's like, dude, why are you such a douche? Like, why do that to somebody? But I had fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And I just like uplifting, based on a true story sports movies. Do you want me to just do a grade and whatnot, or Spencer, anything to add?
I 100% agree. I think I was kind of surprised. I went a little low on this, but I'd go to 3.5. I initially gave it a 3 for some reason, but I think it's because I thought it was a little too long, a little too cheesy. But thinking back, it's been about a week since I've seen it. Yeah, I really liked it, and I think it's worth watching for sure. It's on Disney Plus, so it's easy to go and watch.
Booyah. Yeah, I went up a little higher than you. I gave it a 4.
Nice.
Just because it was fun. It never felt slow to me because I felt like each moment in the story was progressing it to its final peak. So I liked that a lot. And just sometimes the comedy that you can get and the way that people try to inspire others around them was really cool. There's a cool scene with her sister, and it kind of ties their relationship
Oh yeah, she was
together.
great. Yeah.
And just her drive, this don't tell nobody to touch me, nobody comes into the water, and just the pride and the ambition that she has, I thought was really inspiring. So Young Woman in the Sea, Disney Plus, give it a shot because it's worth it.
Nice.
Not to be confused with Old Man in the Sea, the Ernest Hemingway story.
Correct.
It's completely different story. It's not in the same universe. No.
We got to
It's
get
not
away
like-
from the universes. We've already talked about superheroes.
Okay, just
For
making
too
sure.
long,
every
too.
every movie's in a multiverse. now, so I
Naiad
don't
and Young
know.
Woman in the Sea. They're just a few
Yeah.
years apart.
Okay.
The first half of this podcast was a little too sweaty for my taste, but yeah.
It was. I was like, I don't. This seems like
It's
a
a lot of
but
Marvel
I'm here
superhero
for
talk,
it,
but yeah, it was all good.
and it's about to continue after this next review.
Oh,
But
all right. Well,
awesome. That sounds good. I do want to
been a
check it
while.
out. I think it's so few and far between where Disney Plus has a movie that, like an original movie that comes out that wasn't really a wide release in theaters that I actually have interest in. So
What
I
do you
did
mean?
skip-
Chip and Dale? That was a great film.
Okay. Yeah. So I Naiad I also
really liked
skipped,
it.
so maybe I'll check this one out since you guys liked it more than Naiad.
Yeah.
For sure.
Cool. Okay. The next movie, I guess, we'll take it away and we'll try not to get swept away while we're at it. It's Twisters.
No one's saying anything.
What? Oh.
Why,
So yeah, Twister.
why is no one saying anything? I'm like,
Twister.
okay,
was-
you watch
I just heard like
Twisters.
a lot of clicking, so I thought John was about to play something.
No, I have nothing to play. I was just trying to get the
I'm
trailer.
just
for
like, all right.
background,
All
whatever.
right, well, we
Cool.
get copyright flagged for that, so let's just
No,
take
we
it
do
down.
not. We get copyright.
You should look at the
You
back
know why we
end
got
of,
copyright flagged?
YouTube,
Because of
you
the
play
song you
trailers,
guys
and I
played.
disputed it. That was one thing,
That
and the other
sounds
thing
bad.
was footage.
Uh,
Even though it's
she smells.
copyright
She
protected,
smells.
we're
She
talking
smells.
over it. YouTube
She
is just
smells.
an asshole.
Well, that's stupid.
Anyways,
Whatever.
Twisters.
Yeah, so Twisters. Did you ever go on the Universal Studios ride, Twisters? The Twister, where
Twister?
you're like basically standing there under this like awning, and then it gets like really windy, and like there's water coming everywhere, and there's cows flying in cars and barns and shit. It's not there anymore because I think they replaced it with the Minions ride. But it was
Oh,
really cool.
Dear Lord.
I'm pretty sure that it was replaced with that, which I've refused to go on because they replaced the Twisters. But
But here's my follow-up question: have you ever seen Twister?
I
The
have.
Bill
I have seen
Paxton,
Twister.
Holly Hunter, 1996.
Helen Hunt.
Helen
Not
Hunt,
Holly
thank you.
Hunter.
Wow,
Thank you.
Spencer, how
Helen
dare
Hunt.
you?
I get them confused. It's I get them confused all the time. Trust me.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Holly Helen Hunt.
Holly Helen Hunt, exactly.
Yes.
Ally McSheedy. So,
Ah!
okay. Did you like Twister? Not Twister, it's Twister, the 1996
Twister, yeah,
one.
I thought it was a very solid movie, especially for the time that it came out. I mean, it's tornadoes are spooky, are scary. I mean, they're you don't if you're in front of one, you're kind of screwed. And I think that movie was quite good. And I mean, Bill Paxton at the time, I mean, he was a superstar because of that movie.
Because
So-
I watched that movie for the first time 2 months ago. Had never
wow.
seen it before, and I got the Blu-ray a couple years ago, and finally put it in and watched it, and had so much fun with it. It's just like definitive '90s like blockbuster. Like there's so many insane shots, like of just cars driving down long roads and like countryside. There's just the most epic music playing of all time. It's just insane. So I really liked Twister, and then with the anticipation of Twisters, kind of soft reboot. Just new characters dealing with tornado storm chasing. It looked like a lot of fun, and I love that it was Lee Isaac Chung that he was going to direct it because he did Minari, which I loved, which came out a couple years ago.
Okay.
And the fact that he did this little small, personal, intimate family drama that he got nominated for Best Director, nominated for Best Picture, got a whole bunch of Oscar nominations, even won Best Supporting Actress. To now doing Twisters, huge Hollywood blockbuster sequel that they've been trying to make since the first one. When Bill Paxton was really trying to, he's even going to direct a sequel to it at one point. But we finally now have it in Glenn Powell and Daisy Edgar Jones. So
Glenn Powell has been in everything lately, and I think this was one of those movies where like I go to the movies a lot. I saw the trailer for Twisters 25 times, and it was getting a lot of hype, especially after early screenings. People were saying very positive things, and I was still apprehensive. But I know Spencer was very excited going in. He just thought it was going to be a good time, and I was like, okay, then hopefully it is, because it looks like one of those movies that could be bad. But I had a ton of fun at this movie. I really did. I think at first, the one thing that did bug me was Glenn Powell's character. He's just like kind of an asshole, like
super
an arrogant,
obnoxious. At first.
Yeah, obnoxious. I hated the people around him. I'm like, these people are actually trying to like stop tornadoes, and you're over here just wrangling them like an idiot. But he does kind of grow on you a little bit, and Daisy Edgar Jones, she's not in a lot of movies, but I liked her in this. And when it came to the actual tornadoes, pretty terrifying. Like, it felt like everyone was expendable. Like the grandiose nature, they keep getting bigger, and it's like they're quite destructive, and it seemed like there were a lot of them.
That's
like
the thing,
for the timeline of this movie, I was like,
man.
oh, there's another one. Okay, it seems like there's a lot of twisters going
The
on.
weather science made no fucking sense in this
No,
movie.
of course not. I mean,
no sense. And there's also a lot of scenes where like the actors are just delivering so much like weather terminology and science stuff like at like rapid pace. Like, they're just naming off stuff so fast. You're like, what the fuck are they saying? But there's just a tornado in the distance. You're like, there's a big thing coming. But it's just like, whoa, okay. Easy
it
there.
is. I mean, it's kind of funny though, because like that's like every episode of Grey's Anatomy or ER or like CSI,
sure, yeah.
where it's like they don't know what the fuck they're saying. They're just reading what they were told to say, and whatever. I mean, you got to suspend so much disbelief for this movie in particular. Like, Daisy Edgar Jones is very adamant about the fact that I'm here for a week. There were like 15 tornadoes within a week.
I know, it was
It's
insane.
like
They just kept
insane.
popping up and having to go fight another tornado. It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I guess it leaned into like the dumb fun. Like, it went a little too far in that direction where like I was hoping it was going to be a little bit more grounded. I mean, I know it's a storm chaser movie, and we've had like Into the Storm, and we've had the Hurricane Heist, and like all these other random weather movies the last couple.
Geostorm.
Geostorm.
Yeah.
So like you've seen the disaster stuff done so many times before. This one, I mean, being tornadoes are fucking terrifying, and it's got the legacy behind with Twister and this whole thing. So I was a little let down with it. I thought it was just too long. It was 2 hours and 20 minutes. It easily could have been a solid 150 or 2 hour film. Did not need to be near 2.5 hours. Especially because it got to a point where it was just like, all right, drive here, tornado, drive here, tornado, drive here, tornado, downtime. And then tornado, okay, now we gotta go. It's just like, all right, it got a little repetitive. The cast was very charming, though. I really like the cast. Daisy Edgar Jones and Glenn Powell, they had great chemistry. I mean, Glenn Powell will have the best chemistry with a fucking rock. I mean, he has got that charisma. I know Nate hates him, but he's very charismatic. And he is super obnoxious at first, but then once, like an onion, you just peel off the layers and you get to know him a little bit more. You're like, oh, okay. He's not just a dumbass. He's got some brains.
He's trying to help people. He's not just a
muscles.
complete douchebag. Yeah.
Yeah. You got an epic shot of him walking outside in the rain in a white t-shirt. I mean, you got what you are paying to see. So,
of course. Yeah, I mean, I had a ton of fun with this movie. I think that the opening scene of this movie, or the opening sequence, was, I mean, one of the craziest sequences I think I've seen all year. Like, honestly, what
throws you into it?
Yeah, I was like, okay, like they're taking this seriously. Like, tornadoes are the real deal here. Because there's some other characters in this movie that I was like, oh my god, they're in this, yay, and then they're gone. So, like I was like, oh my god, but
you had the new Superman in this movie.
Oh, well,
David Cornsweet. He was Scott. He was the guy that was working with Anthony Ramos's character. He had like a
Oh,
hat
yeah.
and sunglasses on for most of the movie.
Yes.
Very serious. Yeah, that's the new Superman.
He was very grumpy throughout the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's some things they could have done differently with this movie. I think that the sexual tension between Daisy Edgar-Jones and Glenn Powell is very present, yet they never kiss, and that really bothered me. Sorry for that slight spoiler, but that was
They
one of
did
the things that
film the
irked me.
scene, and they filmed a scene of them making out in an airport, and it was cut from the film. That was Spielberg's only note for the film, was to remove.
No
'cause
kissing?
He's an executive producer. It's an Amblin production. That was his only note, was remove the kiss at the end.
Whatever, man.
Yeah.
I would have like I needed that kiss because clearly they were leading up to
But-
it, but
I'm excited to see what she's going to do next. I mean, I wouldn't say she's like exceptional in this movie. She's got a very interesting Southern accent that comes and goes
Yeah.
throughout the movie, but she's amazing to look at. So I'm excited to see what other stuff she does.
I
And
mean, they gave
I
her a
think she's a great
backstory that,
actress. I mean,
like,
Normal
made me
People is
really-
a great show. So
yeah, I don't know. They gave her a backstory that made me genuinely care for her. Like, it's such
Yes.
a dark backstory, just in terms of what she has to go through. But I felt like I was more connected to the characters than I would expect in just another disaster film. So
Yes.
like, I actually cared for them, and
and
they
I think that's where
tried.
you get like the Oscar nominated director to come in and do something like this. It's like he makes you care for the characters, which is nice.
Yeah, which is good, because otherwise I would just be, rooting for the tornadoes to just utterly destroy everybody and
like
everything.
you do with all these other disaster movies.
Yeah, it's like, I fucking hate this guy. I hope he dies. No, I did not feel like that during this, surprisingly. But yeah, it was a fun time. I think, I think the blockbusters this summer have been pretty good, and this one did surprise me at how much I enjoyed myself. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Quite enjoyed it. They didn't have any cool popcorn buckets at the theater. I would have loved to eat out of a tornado, but
You fucking nerd, dude. I can't
all the
believe
popcorn, I'm like, I can't catch it. It's flying away.
You spent $100 on just like Deadpool, like buckets and stuff.
See my
Like,
Wolverine cup right there, right?
figurines.
Next to my Dune popcorn bucket that I have sex
So
with every night.
funny.
I mean, eat out of every night. I mean, look at every night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went a little lower. I went 3 out of 5. I had a fun time with it. It gets to
Oh.
fresh. I didn't have as much fun, I think, as I was hoping to have with it. I was kind of bothered by some things that were going on with the movie. And including the soundtrack. I'm not a country guy. I don't like the country music. And there's
It's
so
fitting.
many
They're in Oklahoma.
country song drops in the movie. Like, just that
Well.
goes so hard and it goes into the country. I'm like, all right, just like exactly. It's like it's that's where they are in the world. Like, that's just, it fits the vibe of the movie. Like, they're good old Texan boys, but fucking A, man, I don't care.
It was like a love letter to Oklahoma at times.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, let's because there's literally a song in the movie where it's like, God bless Oklahoma. I'm like, okay, shut the fuck up. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's for sure. It's a fun time with the movies. If you don't go and see it in theaters, just make sure when you do watch it, just have like the loudest sound system like possible. Turn your volume all the way up, because it's a fun time.
Word. Hell yeah, dude. Speaking
Hell
of fun
yeah.
times, there's another movie that we checked out this weekend called Deadpool and Wolverine, which apparently was supposed to be called Deadpool and Friend, but that changed very early on in the process.
Yeah, the day before the first trailer went out.
For the Super Bowl, they were
think
going to
so.
call it Deadpool and Friend, and then there was a mad shuffle to change the title, which I'm glad they did.
Because they realized that they were going to make 3 times the amount if they just put Wolverine in the title.
Oh my god, yeah, I can understand the joke behind it, like
Yeah.
Deadpool and Friend, like haha. But
Did
like,
you hear the other idide concept? Was
No.
they were going
Deadpool
to
3.
for Deadpool 3? Yeah, they were going to
Yeah.
basically they were going to make a very real looking movie, like some like cop film that was going to star Ryan Reynolds, and
Oh,
they were going
yes.
to market it and
As a
release it like that. And then you go and see it, and then that's the first 5 minutes, and then Deadpool 3. And it's just a complete
Yeah.
joke to the audience. They're going to go thinking they're going to go see some cop movie with Ryan Reynolds, and then it just becomes Deadpool 3, and they trick everybody. And that would be a very
That would be perfect.
that would be such an interesting experiment for box office.
Imagine the
and,
week
like,
2 box office on
Exactly.
that movie.
yeah, because like once the word
Yeah.
gets out, oh no, Deadpool 3 is in theaters right now. It's this movie that was a disguise, and people would fucking yeah, that would have the highest second week of any movie released.
It's
for
like
sure.
what 10 Cloverfield Lane was trying to. Wasn't there? There was one movie that had like a false title, or was it Cloverfield Paradox? Or that was they did it for like a streaming release, and
I think it was streaming. Yeah, but
yeah. Either way, yeah, I had insane anticipation for this movie. Nate has not seen it, and we're gonna do our damnedest to keep it as spoiler free as possible. I do not, because there's a lot of things in this movie that I just want people to experience for themselves, to the point where I was texting Spencer after the movie and I said, "Don't you fucking go online and ruin this for you." I was like, I got angry before I should have gotten angry, and I just I
very
want.
hostile. Thursday
I did.
night.
I'm sorry for that. I didn't mean to come off the way I did.
The first text I got was Deadpool and Wolverine is so much fun, and you're gonna fucking hate it.
Yeah, I did say that because I just know.
Like what?
Just because
like I'm looking forward to it too. I watched Logan last night. I watched Deadpool and Deadpool 2.
I got ready for the movie. Yeah,
like I was doing preparation, man.
I did my homework.
No, apologies. Maybe any other Marvel movie you would
No,
go out of your way to
ignore
ruin
my
it for yourself.
overcooked invites.
No.
Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine. I saw it today.
You saw it today. Oh wow, so it's fresh in your mind. Did you not? You didn't go to AMC, so they didn't have any fun popcorn buckets.
No.
This was $40. And I didn't put the actual popcorn in it because I didn't want to ruin it. So I'm probably gonna end up putting other things in here, but I'm not gonna tell you what on camera.
Condoms.
Yeah. Oh well. No. So yeah, I mean, I was really excited for this movie. I love Ryan Reynolds. I think Hugh Jackman as Wolverine might be the best casting of any character ever. I think that he has literally just embodied that character better than anybody ever could, and I hope that nobody else ever plays him. He's just, I mean, the dedication that he has to sculpting his body at the age of 55 is just beyond belief. I mean, some of the shots of him in this movie, it's like, that's the price of admission alone, if you know what I mean. And I think Deadpool would agree. I mean, there's certain shots where he's like literally trying to catch a peek at his abs. It's amazing. This movie is, it's so unique in the way that they approach it, and the jokes and breaking the fourth wall and just kind of making fun of Marvel as a whole. And I mean, there's just so many scenes that it's like, wow, they did that. All right, cool. I love it. Like it's just, it pokes fun at itself, and it goes places that you don't expect. And, they have to use the multiverse to make this movie work, but who cares? I mean, they just do it in their own way, in their own fun way. And everything that they bring in this movie, I was good with. I was happy with. They had jokes about everything. I don't want to give anything else away. Truly, it's like,
yeah,
it's such a good time.
Spoiler free.
You can talk about some stuff. Like, I don't want you to be just like
no, we're not
outlines of it.
I'm not going to
There's
reveal
some specifics that I don't want to.
There's certain characters in this movie that like I had no idea was in the movie going into it, which I was like, oh wow, that's a huge surprise. I definitely don't want people like not knowing, to get that ruined. But like there's one scene. I'm not gonna say who anyone is, but like it's just one character, the next character, another character. It's like what? Like it's a little insane, which was kind of like a fun moment. But that's the thing. This movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, it's a fun time.
Wait, hold on.
It's a fun time. It's a fun time. It's like if you've seen all these other movies, if you've seen the Fox X-Men films, and you've seen some of the Marvel stuff, and you've seen Deadpool, the character of Wolverine, like you're gonna have fun. Like it's just joke after joke at these characters' expense. And Deadpool is having so much fun being under the Kevin Feige MCU bubble. And he is just left and right. Like I know I'm here. You guys know I'm here. It's weird for everyone, but we're gonna have fun. Which was just kind of it was enjoyable to kind of sit back, literally turn your brain off, other than to be like, wait, what's that reference? Okay, I remember that from 2007. Okay,
even earlier than that. I mean, there's references in this movie of
like the 90s
of movies that don't exist. Like and like it goes without saying. I was just like, wow, they really
It's
went there, and sitting there with my dad and Choki, it's like I had to explain a lot of things after the
oh, I'm
movie
sure. Yeah.
because I mean,
I did
there's
the
so
same with
many
Brooke
things.
afterwards. I'm like,
It's like,
did you know about
who,
this or
why,
that? Or,
why is
yeah.
that? Why was everybody cheering for that? I'm like, so there was this and this, and then it
Yeah.
led to this, and then it's like, there's a lot of things.
So in a way, the movie is kind of just this like weird fever dream of like, was that real? Like, did I is really like this
Yeah.
is
An
what
Easter
happened?
egg in movie form.
100%. It's the most meta thing I've ever seen. More meta than like the Matrix Resurrections. Like, remember that? How meta that fucking was?
I don't think
Or
I've
like
seen-
more meta than like a Kevin Smith movie, Jay and Silent Bob. Like, it's
Oh,
so
Jesus.
on the nose meta. It's the
Yeah.
point where like this movie is not going to age well. I can't, for me at least, like I can't see myself really ever wanting to watch this again because now that I've seen it all and I got what they were doing and I will probably watch it again just to see like some of the jokes I missed. Um, the movie itself, like the story, like it's nothing really that exciting and special. And
Yeah.
at one point, it's like we're still going with this, and I love that Ryan Reynolds is like, "Hang on, guys, home stretch here," and then he goes back to the plot.
Yeah.
So like they acknowledge it too, but I don't know. It's like I wasn't really blown away by anything with this movie, other than just sitting back and be like, "Oh, this is a fun time." I'm laughing every now and then. The Hugh Jackman is fucking incredible. Like was born to play this character. I know that gets said a lot with like
Yeah.
character or actors that are really good at playing a character, but just like literally Hugh Jackman was born to play Wolverine. There's no other person that could play it. So,
No, there isn't.
and they acknowledge that. So but it's a fun movie that if you are aware of the X-Men Fox stuff and Marvel stuff, like you have to see it for sure. You'll have a great time with it. It's just beyond that, beyond like rewatching it and going back to it, I just can't see myself really doing that too often.
I mean, I almost went and saw this again today. And I think that, I just have such an appreciation for most of the X-Men movies. I just think that they're so unique in their approach, and there's so many good characters. I love that universe. And Wolverine is just like, he's the center of all of it. Patrick Stewart, I mean, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Ian McKellen, like there's just so many strong characters, and they do, reach into the nostalgia of that universe at times, and it actually made me tear up a little bit. I was like, well, not tear up, but like get emotional. Like I miss this. Like
Okay, wait, hold on. That can only apply. Slight spoilers, not really at all.
No, it
To the montage at during the
the end credits. I'm talking about the end credits.
Okay, that's what I'm making sure because like
This is
that's
not the movie.
Because throughout the movie, there's no moments where you can be like, I'm gonna cry here.
There isn't, but okay, I'm literally talking about that. But
Because yeah, they do a montage of like behind the scenes of like the actors and like in costume and like it's set to the time of my
makes me
life.
feel
Green
for
Day.
Hugh Jackman because
So
like it's
yeah.
like such a large portion of his life, and like we grew up with it, and like there's such a character arc, even though they've basically like erased the past of certain movies in other movies. It's like it's still like it was such a fun ride. I will say I agree with you though with the actual movie itself. The story is generic. Like the actual plot that they're covering, minus like all the tangents and jokes and stuff like that, which are super fun. The villain, generic, has the same sort of philosophy and motives that most villains would have. I want to destroy everything. Like literally, it's like, what do you expect?
Yeah.
But like the fun of Deadpool and the character and how meta it is what makes this so insanely fun.
Yeah.
So
It's a one-off too. Like it doesn't like really set stuff up, or I mean, maybe it does, or maybe future movies will try to somehow find
maybe
something to
there's
use.
so many Easter eggs here, so maybe I don't
Yeah,
know.
they could easily. It just felt very much like kind of its own thing under the MCU bubble, which was kind of unique. It just felt a little different, which was cool. And the MCU needed a hit, and this movie, I don't know if you were watching the box office, but oh my fucking god, it is making so
sure.
much money.
I'm sure it's insane. Yeah, I mean
so much money.
the marketing for this movie is everywhere. It was in the F1 race today. Like there were 2 cars that were repainted Deadpool and Wolverine, which must have cost a fortune. So
Sure.
like the advertising in AMC, there's a whole bit where Deadpool and Wolverine walk in after Nicole Kidman does her thing,
I mean, dude,
and they're like, turn your fucking phones off, and then they literally do that with Wolverine. It's
they
great.
have these two characters. They have Deadpool and they have Wolverine. They have under the MCU bubble, and they have all the fans of 20th Century Fox X-Men stuff from all the past movies. They were applying to so many different markets and different people and fan bases. Like a lot of people that you wouldn't think are going to see this movie are going to see this movie, which is just kind of interesting to see. So
fun.
And that's the other thing. It's a fun movie too. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I enjoyed it. I mean, we could do an hour-long spoiler review if we really wanted to, but we won't. Just go to the theater and enjoy it if you're a fan of this franchise. I think there's going to be a lot of things that does go over the head of some people, and maybe just watch an explained video on YouTube a little bit later and pick up on all the Easter eggs if you care to do so. But yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5. I really, really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a ton of fun. I would see it again. I think it does have rewatchability. I just the franchise as a whole it's just fun. It's just so fun. Ryan Reynolds, I mean, talk about a guy who's born to play a character. I mean, it's so amazing in this movie. Like the dog in this movie is an amazing dog pool. I mean, it's a lot of cameos that are gonna, you won't even realize till after the movie's over and be like, wait, that was that person? Oh, cool, no way. So yeah, loved it.
I'd probably go like 3.25 out of 5 right now. I'm in between a 3 and a 3.5. Like on the enjoyment level, it's like a 4. But like overall and reflecting on it and like thinking back and my desire to rewatch it, it's already going down. But at the time when I was watching it, I was enjoying myself. So it's like I said, it's a good time. Go and see it for sure. And yeah, have some laughs.
It's my number 4 of the year right now. Which is pretty high. I will say that's high. It's above like Civil War, Dune, and Longlegs. So
I don't think it'd be in my top 10, but it's up there.
I thought it was just so much fun, and I invested a lot of money in the actual movie. So
you did. That is for sure.
Yeah, the theaters are happy. The studios are happy. So yeah, that is Deadpool and Wolverine.
And that's it for new releases. I mean, unless you guys saw any other new stuff, I mean, it's been kind of quiet in terms of.
I went and saw Fly Me to the Moon.
Oh, okay. That's cute.
And that was very fun, very very current, I think. Just it was a cool era with Scarlett Johansson, Channing Tatum, where Channing Tatum kind of works as an engineer in NASA, and Scarlett Johansson is like a marketing guru, and they bring her in to make people care about NASA, essentially. And she's kind of in charge of getting like the funding, so like the Apollo 11 project actually happens. And like, I don't know how historically accurate this movie was, but it was a ton of fun. It's a good little love story element, and kind of just watching the U.S. try their damnedest to beat Russia in the space race in a very unique way. I love a space race movie, always.
All right,
but
I'll check it out when it comes to Apple TV.
All right, I had a great time with it. And I finally watched Thelma. We talked about that on a previous show. Go check it out. But absolutely loved it. It was so fucking wholesome, and June Squibb is an absolute gem.
Yes.
So yeah.
I just won my first Grammy!
Maybe she'll win her first Oscar. No, probably not. But that'd be cool if she did. Nomination?
That would be fun, but there would have to be an insane campaign towards the end of the year, and we'll see if that happens. I don't know.
Definitely her last chance. Hate to say it.
All right. Wow. Well, you guys.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. But
well, she's gonna be 1,000 years old, and then she's
93 right now.
She's 94.
Okay. Well, she aged. She had a birthday recently, so
really old. It's very old.
All right. Well, if this is her last role, then it's a great role to go out on.
Fair enough. I'll agree there.
I don't know why we had to go in this direction, but trivia.
Yeah. Let's go, baby.
It's time for the answers to know this fact. For the questions I'm about to ask, like,
What is the capital of Bolivia? It's mainstream boy trivia!
Wow. Welcome back to another segment of Mainstream Boy Trivia. where we give each other trivia questions and try to become mainstream boy of the week, which I know everybody wants.
This week, right?
Not this
No.
week, because this week it is quack quack ducky trivia. Uh-oh.
Quack, quack, quack,
Every
Yeah.
question will be in the
quack.
vein of ducky, and it will be duck related. So I hope you guys did your research on duck corkscrew penises.
Oh,
I am
yeah.
so ready. Like, I just read a whole book, the fucking life cycle of the modern American duck. So
Is that
I'm
so? Wow. Okay. Well,
Hopefully, you
yes.
guys watched Migration on Peacock as well. So
I did not. Sorry, Mike White.
okay, fair enough. All good.
Oh.
Yeah. So I am going to be asking you guys trivia questions for this installment of Mainstream Boy Trivia. A little bit different this time. I always try to do something a little bit different, a little something unorthodox, outside the box.
We
But
like that.
we're going to see what happens, and we'll have some fun. So I don't know if we're going to play. I think maybe we'll start like play to 7, but if it goes too fast, we can go to 10 or something. So
Oh, you
keep
have
track-
enough
First
questions for
1,
that?
2, 7, or
Yeah, I'm thinking first to 7, but if it goes too fast, we can go to 10. I have enough questions, I think, to handle that. Keep track of your
Wow.
own points. I'll try to do my best to keep track of both of you guys, but obviously just keep track of yourself. So
That could lead to some controversy, but okay.
the way it's going to
I
be,
will not cheat.
I'm just gonna keep tallies of my side, which will happen hopefully very fast.
I was debating if I want to allow steals to happen, because in this installment, I'm going to be asking you guys different trivia questions, and it's going to be the first to 7 points. So if you get a point, you get the question right, you get a point. But I don't know if I want to do a steal. So if
Do
the
it,
other
I don't
person asks
care.
first, are you guys
Do
okay
steals.
with doing steals? I
Yeah.
think that's why I'm thinking
Sure.
7 might go fast if we do steal. All right, we'll do steals.
Make it
'Cause-
cutthroat.
I wanted you guys
Or
to
I'll
do.
cut my throat.
I wanted to see how you guys are doing in your favorite genres. So I have horror questions for Nate, and I have
Ooh.
coming of age questions for John. So
Okay.
I'm going to
Oh,
start
boy.
with horror with Nate. So I'm going to ask Nate this question. If he gets it wrong, we'll go to John.
I do
John,
think
if you
that's
get it.
actually fair. Like, if I could steal a horror question from Nate, I've totally earned that point.
Okay,
Same with Nate on my end.
cool. Let's just go. We'll start we'll say 7, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be a 10er. All right. So we'll start with Nate at horror. The first horror question I have for you.
Yes.
What fatal event did the survivors narrowly escape at the beginning of Final Destination?
The answer, Ducky, is they avoided a plane explosion as it takes off.
Plane explosion is the answer. Well done. Good
For
job.
the record, I would have been able to steal that.
Okay. The questions are kind of easy, I will say. I didn't try to go too hard, but some might be a little challenging. All right. John, coming of age.
Oh, we went back and forth. Okay. All right, sweet.
What Oscar-winning actor with the surname of Coppola had a cameo in Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
That would be Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. All right.
I haven't even seen the movie.
Nate lit up when I said that question, so I knew he had the answer.
Thank God I knew
I
that.
was
Oh my
like,
God.
yes, John,
All right.
turn it over.
Let's go.
Back to Nate horror. Name 2 of the stars, 2 of the cast members of the Amazonian thriller Anaconda.
That would be Ice Cube and Jennifer Lopez.
Fuck. Damn it.
Yes, I would have also
Could
accepted.
have also
Danny
went with
Trejo,
John
Owen
Voight
Wilson,
or
there you
Owen
go.
Wilson.
There you go.
Yeah, he knows more than 2. Fuck.
All right. John, back to you. Coming of
Okay.
age. Question: what does Claire give Bender at the end of The Breakfast Club?
Is it her phone number? Fuck.
Nate, first steal.
Her diamond earring.
It was an
Okay.
earring.
I feel like, I mean, that's one of Nate's like favorite fucking movies. That's like
It's
a
The
little bit
Breakfast Club,
unfair.
one of the most iconic coming of age movies of all time.
Okay, whatever.
Okay.
We'll go to 10. Now I'm okay with that. Yeah.
All right, Nate. Question. Horror question. What is the name of the serial killer at the start of Child's Play? I have multiple choice, but I'm
That
curious
would
if you just
be
knew.
He doesn't do it.
Charles Lee Ray.
Fuck. Oh, okay. I'll take the multiple choice.
Maybe that was the
please.
character's name, but it's not what's listed. It had like a Night Stalker type of name.
I'll take
Not,
the
it's
multiple
not the
choice.
Night Stalker. There is multiple choice, but he didn't ask for it first, so you have to go without it.
Charles Manson.
So multiple choice. What is the name of the serial killer at the start
Is
of
it for
Child's
me?
Play? For Nate, yes.
Okay.
A, the Lakeshore Strangler. B, the Lincoln Park Loon. C, the North Shore Killer. Or D, the South Side Psycho.
I'm gonna go with A. Is it the Lake Shore?
Strangler?
That one? Yeah.
Oh,
It is the Lakeshore Strangler. Okay.
Gotcha.
So Nate has 4 points. John has
yeah,
Yeah.
4-1.
4-1. Okay. John, question.
Mhm.
In The Faults in Our Stars,
Mm.
why do Hazel and Gus go to Amsterdam?
I think it's so Hazel can meet like an author or something. Okay,
Meet
Let's
Hazel's
go.
favorite author. Yes.
let's go.
Good job. That's a good job.
Fucking go. Thank you.
All right. So 2-4. Okay. Back to horror. Nate, what 2006 horror remake has the tagline, "Some sacrifices must be made"? What 2006
Only one
horror
pop-
remake?
One
features-
popped into my head.
Okay.
Is it The Hills Have Eyes?
The Hills Have Eyes. Not John.
One. What's the question again? What?
What 2006 horror remake has the tagline, "Some sacrifices must be made"? If John doesn't get this one, I'll go back to Nate with a hint.
I'm gonna go The Wicker Man. What?
Is The Wicker Man?
That's
Yes.
right.
Damn.
What,
Holy
because
shit!
The real question, I left this out of because I thought it would be too obvious. What 2006 horror remake features Nicolas Cage and has the tagline, "Some
Oh, yeah, that
sacrifices
would've
must
been-
be made"?
Yeah, that would have
Yeah,
given
that would've
it
been
away.
too much.
I was a complete.
I was
fucking
without the
guess,
Nicolas
bro.
Cage hint. That was surprising because I was going to go back to Nate and just give him the whole question, Nicolas Cage. So,
Wow, I can't. Okay,
So
I
you just
needed
got-
that.
that was a
I'm
good
pretty-
steal.
I needed that.
what is it now? What's the tally?
4-3. Nate.
John.
Shit, and we're back to John with a coming of age film.
Oh boy.
Okay. The famous line, "Can I borrow your underpants for 10 minutes?" was spoken in which coming of age comedy? Quite, it's an easy one.
Was it
Can I
Superbad?
borrow your underpants for 10 minutes?
shit?
For the steal.
That would be 16 Candles.
16
shit.
candles.
Yeah, that's right.
16 candles, motherfucker. All right. Shit.
Those steals are brutal, man.
All right, back to horror with Nate. Which one do I want to give you? In 2010s, I've referenced this movie quite often recently.
2010s?
In
Or
2010s.
2010?
In the 2010s.
It
maybe.
says in 2010s, but I think it did come out in 2010. Whatever. In 2010's Piranha 3D, which actor made a guest appearance? A, Robert De Niro. B, Richard Dreyfuss. C, Samuel L. Jackson. Or D, Gary Busey.
I know this is probably wrong, but I'm going to go with Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh,
It's Richard Dreyfuss. I think he's in the opening on a little rowboat and he's fishing, and then all these piranhas.
I just listened to a podcast where they mentioned him, and I was like, was that in Piranha? Or, okay.
wow.
Okay.
I was gonna say Gary Busey because he's just in movies.
That's what
like
I was
that
thinking.
for
I'm
no-
like,
for no
Spencer
reason.
would throw in a Gary Busey question. Like,
He would. Loves Gary Busey.
All right, back to John. And this is I stretched a little bit and kind of went into some romance stuff.
Oh,
'cause
don't
I was
don't
I don't
feel
know, I was
bad
just
about
trying I was
that.
trying to cater to both of you. All right. In 500 Days of Summer, what did Tom, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, study to be? A, a doctor, B, a mechanic, C, an architect, or D, an English teacher?
I'm pretty sure it's C, architect. Oh,
It
thank
is
God.
architect.
Okay,
Good job. Okay.
thank you.
What's the score? Check in.
It is 6-4,
6-4.
Nate.
Okay. Back to Nate. All right. We're going to go with the little psycho question. Here we go.
Oh, yummy.
Uh-oh.
Multiple choice. How much money does Marion Crane steal in Psycho?
Oh, I think I know it without the answers.
Do you want to go without it?
But I'll take them.
If you go without it, I'll go to John and he has to make a guess, and then we can go back to multiple. It's up to you. Oh, we could do schmoes down. If you get it right without multiple, I'll give you 2 points.
Whoa.
But if you get it wrong, you lose 1 point.
No, just give me the answers. I have a couple, but
Wow,
let's
that's crazy.
verify.
I do like those rules though. That's kind of crazy.
right.
All right.
How much money does Marion Crane steal in Psycho? A, $30,000. B, $40,000. C, $45,000. Or D, $43,000. Not a lot of wiggle room
Jesus.
there.
Yeah, good luck.
Crap. $30,000.
$30,000. John for the steal.
I was gonna go 40.
$40,000.
Yeah,
That's correct. $40,000.
yeah. 40 was
That
what
was
was in
going to
my
be
head
what I
the
was
whole
going to
time.
say too if I didn't ask
Yep.
for. Yeah.
Damn.
6-5.
6-5.
We're going to 10 though to make it interesting.
We'll try. We'll try.
If you have
I
enough,
think
all
I
right.
have enough. We'll
Okay.
try. Okay.
All right.
Question for John. James Ponsoldt directed Miles Teller in what film? 21 and Over, Project X, The Spectacular Now, or That Awkward Moment? Don't look at your fucking poster, you sick son of a bitch. Don't you look at your poster. Look back. Look back at us. No.
Cheating.
You're cheating here. I'm not going to allow this if you're looking at your poster.
The Spectacular Now.
Yeah, no.
It's next to me. Why would you do that?
I forgot that you have the poster right next to you because who has a poster of The Spectacular Now right next to a computer? All right, I'm gonna have to give you a new question because that was cheating. All right,
You sick fuck.
in 2013's The Way Back, it was greenlit after writer and directors Nat Faxon and Jim Rash's other screenplay won an Oscar. What was it?
And 20. So it would have won.
The question's kind of worded weird. So
Oh.
The Way Back.
No,
you got it.
I got
Okay.
it. I got it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't get any other information. So
Basically,
okay.
Nat Faxon and Jim Rash, they made The Way Back, but that
Yeah.
movie was greenlit because their previous film won an Oscar for Best Screenplay. What was that film?
Oh gosh. I'm gonna. It won it for best screenplay.
Yes, Best Original Screenplay. Which allowed them to make The Way Back, which we saw in theaters and we liked.
Inside Llewyn Davis. I don't know.
Nate for the steal. What you got?
Little Miss Sunshine.
No.
You have multiple
I'm
choice?
Wrong.
Can you give hints?
I don't want to give hints because then I'm gonna have to.
When did the movie come out?
I'll have to go look at what films won Best Screenplay to pull up the hints. I'll say this movie. Back to Nate or John for the question.
No, John.
This movie starred George Clooney.
The Descendants. Okay.
There we go.
All right. Tie.
6-6 or 7-6.
6-6. Going to Nate though.
Going to Nate. Back to horror. Okay. All right. Nate, who directed the 1976 horror film The Omen?
Oh, Richard Donner.
There you go. Okay. I didn't know how well you do with directors, so I was curious.
That one I was like, but I remembered it. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Do you have enough to go to 10, or should I try to match him at 7 and then whoever gets
Let's
8?
just keep going with the ones I haven't given you guys.
All right.
So back to John. Question. What is used as a makeshift treehouse in mud?
Oh God.
It's funny. I just rewatched this like a couple months ago, and they reference it
isn't-
so many times. It's a big
Fuck,
plot
I haven't
device
seen
in the
this since
film.
whenever it came out.
It's a huge plot device.
I've never seen this, so
Makeshift treehouse. I mean, I really spent a lot of time in like a shitty hotel. I'm gonna say like an abandoned car. I don't know. Fuck.
You're on the right track.
Yeah, it's got to be like
Said that.
something.
Nate Steele.
was it like a dinghy, like a boat?
What's your final answer?
Well, they're the same thing.
Technically not. It was a boat. It was a boat.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, I referred to it as just like a paddling boat. Just
They are in like
man-made.
Louisiana. That's a good guess. Fuck.
Okay. Back to coming of a back to horror. Back to horror for Nate. All right. Ooh, Nate, how many films into the Leprechaun franchise did the title character go into
God.
Distant Planet?
Go to a distant planet.
Yeah.
The fourth one.
How the fuck do you know that?
Oh my
How
God.
do you know that? That's insane.
Well, because I listened to Dead Meat, their
Okay.
podcast. They do horror movies. Yeah.
Damn. All right.
A lot. Oh, wow, that's insane.
John, question.
I have to get this. I have to.
What is the name of the main character, the boy, in the coming of age epic Boyhood? Is it one or why isn't it A? A. LR. B. Elijah. C. Mason. D. Ricky.
Mason.
It's Mason. Good job.
I was almost gonna tell you. I mean, I don't know it now, but I wouldn't have gotten it. But I was gonna be like, can I get 2 points if I don't get the multiple choice? But I
What
wouldn't have
score? Check in. What do we got?
gotten it. It's 9-7.
9-7. So Nate, you need to get this, and you win. Okay.
Yeah.
Nate, in what 2005 horror film is based on the true story of a priest who was charged with negligent homicide after performing a failed exorcism?
The Last Exorcism of, I'm sorry, that's not my answer. That is
No,
not
I
my
think
answer.
I think he knows. I know. I think I know what it is too. Fuck.
The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Damn.
Good job. Yes, Nate wins. Damn, that was close though. Okay.
Damn. That was
very
that was.
close.
I really like that. That setup. I think that's really good.
The mud question is what turned the
structure is fun.
tides, I think, just because.
I mean, you got 2 or 3 of my questions. So like you got the Breakfast Club question and you got the mud question. And I did know some of the horror ones, but I mean, if I know it, you definitely know it. So damn.
Well, like
all right.
the Psycho one, I'm kicking myself about because I'm like,
There was
oh,
another Psycho question I had too. What was Norman Bates' hobby in Psycho?
he was a taxidermist.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Would have gotten that right.
I mean, also like the Wicker Man was a complete out of the dark guess,
That
and
was a
then
good guess.
40,000 for Psycho is like, again, it's just I got lucky. But Nate,
I was thinking, I'm like, no, it's just niche stuff, just like stuff that I would remember.
Okay, out of curiosity, I picked this because I wanted to try to stump you, but then as I pasted it, I'm like, wait a second, he probably knows this. I had no idea. Question: in which horror film does Bruce Campbell play Elvis Presley fighting a mummy in a retirement home?
Bubba Hotep.
Yeah, how the fuck do you know
Yeah.
that? Like that's insane.
I've never even seen it. I know he plays.
what is it?
Like,
Bubba Hotep?
Bubba Hotep. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just saw Bruce Campbell. I'm like, he might know it. But cool. All right.
Wow, that's unreal.
No, that
do you
was-
have
that was
any
good.
more? Do you have any
All right.
stumping coming of age questions for John or no?
What
Are they all pretty
ones
easy? 'Cause
did
you know
I
I'm stupid.
not give you? Who plays the 2 theater instructors at the summer camp in Wet Hot American Summer?
Oh,
It's
They got it. I think.
wait, what? The 2 theater instructors. Elizabeth Banks is not one of the instructors, is she?
No.
She's one of the kids. Oh fuck, I don't know.
No, she's technically
Oh, it's Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd.
Nate, do you want to guess?
Amy Poehler and Bradley Cooper.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
I've seen every rendition of that show.
I would have preferred
Slash
if you'd
movie.
give me like Marvel trivia. I feel like I would have because like Nate also loves coming of age, so it's like hard for me to like I don't know horror, but if Nate, what genre do I know way better than Nate? Not a lot. There's like not a lot of stuff.
That's the thing. I wasn't initially going to allow steals. Like I was, because I figured that Nate was going to know a lot of the coming of age, and you weren't going to know a lot of the horror. But you seemed totally for the steals, which was like, okay, that's why I was going to.
Yeah,
that was
I
fun.
like cat.
And you got two, and I got two, so it worked out.
Good job, Nate. Proud of you.
But-
Nate's been the trivia king over the last, the whole show.
I think
Really.
I won
So-
last time.
And
Oh
hopefully,
wait, I asked the questions
I don't
last
remember what
time.
happened last time.
hopefully Lucas wasn't screaming into his phone while listening, because he
Oh,
says that
more
during
than
the
likely,
trivia
dude.
parts, if we don't know the answer, he's like screaming the answer at us, and then he yells at me. That
I'd be interested to know what his thoughts on Nate's choice were, because we were split. So
DC
yeah.
or Marvel.
That's
He
a
said
tough
that
He
call.
seems like a DC kind of guy, but who knows? Lucas, let us know.
Yeah, let us
Sure,
know, dude.
yeah. Leave a
And
let Spencer
anybody
know
else
and he'll let us
listening,
Exactly.
please let us know your thoughts on anything to do with the show, especially Nate's choice, in the comments down below on YouTube at Those Movie Dudes. But you can type in Those Movie Dudes podcast on YouTube if you want to see our shining, beautiful faces.
Yeah. And also make sure you check out our weekly podcast, audio only, first time watching, where Nate and I get together on a weekly basis and we talk about a movie that we have never seen before. We watch it for the first time. We're starting to announce them on our Instagram. So if you want to actually go and watch these movies and come and listen to the podcast with us and discuss the film, that'll be fun. Yeah.
What have you guys done so far?
Oh God. Well, this week, we just had St. Elmo's Fire that just came out last week, and then this week I think we have Ed Wood, so the little Johnny
Oh.
Depp,
Ooh, yeah, we
Tim
do.
Burton film, and then we have the first Slam Dunk coming, Sorcerer, and we have a backlog like The Abyss and The Birds, all that fun stuff.
Do you think we could do one where it's a movie I've seen but you guys haven't seen and you guys have to watch it?
If you pitch yourself to us, and
You're more
it
than
could easily
welcome.
be one of the movies of the week. Yeah, that's all you got to
Okay.
do is just.
All right, that'll be a tough. That'll be a
know.
tall task for me to find a movie that you guys haven't seen, but I have. But
I also need you to take a look at your 4K collection or Blu-ray collection and just like send me 3 movies that you've never seen before that you own that you want to see, and we'll try to fit you into the schedule.
that I can do. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far or watching at Those Movie Dudes, we said it before, but have an incredible end of your July and enjoy the rest of your summer at the box office. Go check out Deadpool, Twisters, all that good stuff. And I wouldn't recommend buying this, by the way. It's not really worth the $40.
I do recommend buying this though, because he will hold your money and he doesn't shock you. Well, not all the time. Sometimes when he gets upset. Like if I try to really stuff a 50-cent piece in, I just really try to drive it in there. It just kind of gives me a little shock. So, yeah.
Pokemon!